There's something universal about the story of Frozen. The love between the sisters is something that just resonates with everyone.
We loved the movie so much, and we were so inspired by those characters that we just couldn't wait 30 years to write for them on TV. And we were very lucky that Disney let us.
Unlike some of the characters that we've dealt with on Once Upon a Time who were created 300 years ago, these characters were incredibly modern and incredibly well drawn. The twist we wanted to bring to the Frozen character was more about how did they fit into our Once Upon a Time mythology.
They look exactly like the animated characters, and yet they added so many layers, and they were so full of life and complications and flaws and, you know, very real humor.
I want to be alone.
You have a sister, you're never going to be alone. Other than when I'm not around, but even then I'll be there in spirit.
We always have these little one-liners that reference the movie, which, you know, avid Frozen fans will be able to pick out.
Aren't you cold? I'm freezing.
It's never bothered me. They've taken Elsa's same qualities and her same demons and struggles and expanded upon it. You get to see her interact with different people. Something happened to my memories.
Wow. An all too common affliction around these parts.
Georgina did an amazing job of taking an iconic character that we all had this really strong image of because it's such a recent character, and doing a great job of infusing that with life and putting her own personality into it, but really staying true to what the character was in the movie.
Really easy to walk in snow. The main struggle of Elsa's is that she is afraid of who she is and she can't accept who she is, and she feels like she doesn't fit in and that she's isolated from the world around her. I think that's a feeling a lot of people can identify with. Anna helps. She helps me control it. The villain isn't a witch or a wizard or a monster. It's an emotion. It's the emotion of fear. That's the villain, and that's a new thing.
What is that amazing smell?
Elsa was very lucky to have a sibling who accepted her and loved her for who she is. That's sort of unlike what we've experienced on our show at times with these magical characters. They tend to feel very isolated and alone.
We're not a monster. I don't think so. This whole kingdom doesn't think so, and for sure our parents didn't think so, and I will prove it.
Anna's a wonderful, wonderful female character because they've made her smart and strong, but also because she does say whatever's on her mind. Sometimes she says the wrong thing and she makes mistakes, and that makes her so human. So I think she's a wonderful balance.
I think something that Eddie and Adam and I talked about when it came to finding the character of Anna within Once Upon a Time was we wanted to keep her quirks and her isms that are throughout the movie, but we also don't want her to be dumb. Just because she says things on the fly doesn't mean she isn't very smart.
Why fight a battle you can't win?
Those are exactly the battles you should fight. If you know you could win, it's not a fight.
Elizabeth was so honest in how she portrayed her and so good. You know, she had this natural spirit that she brought to the role, and I think that really brought her to life.
Should I act natural?
What's so refreshing about the Frozen story in general is that it defines yet another form of true love, and that story is just perfect for our world.
It gave us an opportunity to explore some things emotionally with all the characters that we wouldn't have had reasons to explore if those characters hadn't showed up.
Ultimately, I think it's about a misunderstood girl, which I think a lot of our show deals with that theme, you know, particularly with Emma. You know, she doesn't quite understand who she is or what her magic is.
Emma's magic is tied to her emotions like mine. The reason she hurt him is because she was trying so hard not to hurt him. Her and Emma have a really fun relationship because they're in the adolescence of their magic and they have to learn how to cope with it all.
I think that they have an instant connection then, you know, they see that they sort of come from a similar place in their mind.
This is the first time there's really someone in her world that is a true comrade and friend and confidant, and someone that she can connect with and can maybe help her in the long run. Please go now.
No. You didn't give up on me even when you nearly froze to death in that ice cave, so I'm not giving up on you now.
We weren't trying to do the sequel. We weren't trying to take away from their mythology. We were just trying to bring them into our show.
I think one of the keys was in our take on the Snow Queen character and making her connect to Emma and making her connected to Elsa, and that kind of drew the Frozen world into the Once Upon a Time world.
Hello, Storybrooke.
Eddie and Adam called, and they were really excited, which is so fun.
We talked about protagonists and antagonists, and how nobody ever thinks they're the bad guy. And that's how I like to play it. Everybody has their own way.
Any Given Sunday was, I think, a genius way of honoring the Frozen theme in a modern capacity. What better place for her to hide but in plain sight?
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Mitchell on the set of Once Upon a Time. This is Any Given Sunday. These are the mirrors, both from the fairy tale and also maybe because Ingrid's slightly vain on her nose. But this was pointed out to me that this looks like icicles, which it does. Ice cream. This is banana, not vanilla, and it's phenomenal. Oh, ribbon pipe. That's pretty much it. Welcome. Enjoy. I never got to sample Any Given Sunday. I love ice cream, so it's a real shame.
You're a monster.
She waited for Emma for 30 years, 25 years. That's extraordinary. That tenacious dedication. Some might call it being a stalker. I don't know.
Soon, you won't want to hurt me. Soon, you will love me.
Her powers of ice and all of that were destructive. It was done for the wrong reasons. So it was always going to be difficult for her, and at the same time, of course, Mr. Gold was in the background trying to kind of mess it all up as usual.
Now you should find some shelter. It's getting quite frosty.
She wants it just to be the three of them, so that doesn't look too good for everyone else in Storybrooke.
Is there an institution in Storybrooke? I don't know.
Elsa and Anna give one another permission to be their truest selves and their most vulnerable selves because they know that the other one is always going to be there for them in any state. Your powers make you special. And I wouldn't want you any other way.
If we've seen anything on our show, we see the family never give up on the other.
Henry brought me to Storybrooke to bring back the happy endings. My job's not done until I do that for everyone, including you.
Okay, bye!
When I found out that Frozen was coming on the show, I probably had the same reaction as a lot of the fans, and Eddie and Adam did an amazing job.
I think that everybody was really excited about Frozen, you know, but most of the people I talked to really just wanted to know what Colin was like in person.
We were very gratified by the response we got. It was a pressure-filled thing to do because Frozen is a kind of experience where you sit in a movie and you watch it and you realize this is something that will stand the test of time.
Yeah, 100 years from now, people will still be watching Frozen.
Thank you for taking such good care of my sister. It's kind of what we do.